Let's go next to, why don't we go now to, is it Jess or Jesse from North Carolina? It's kind of cut off.
Josiah, as a matter of fact.
Josiah. Welcome, Josiah.
I appreciate it, David. Hey, I got a question, especially in light of the last night's debate between Oz and Fetterman.
Yes,
Kind of got
earlier
thinking
this week,
about,
right.
oh, was it not last night?
Well, it's
Oh,
Friday
gotcha.
today. It's Friday today.
True, touche.
Yeah.
I got thinking about, we're seeing obviously the polls change to the detriment of Democrats. You've been commenting on this on your shows. And I keep going back to the double standards to which I feel that Democrats are held to, not just by conservatives, but also by centrist moderates and people on the left in
Yep.
terms of performance and substance. And I was on Twitter and I was seeing like all the headlines from people who would be considered quote unquote liberal or mainstream journalists, which are perceived to have a liberal bias. And they were ravaging Fetterman for his performance, even
Yep.
though his communication issues, as far as we know, are just it's temporary aphasia. It's a stroke-induced speech impediment.
Yeah, I don't
But
know how temporary it is, to be totally honest, but it's not cognitive. I mean, he remembered all the facts, he remembered all the points, he understood his position and those of Mehmet Oz. I don't know if it's temporary, but it's only a speech thing. That's absolutely the case.
and fair enough, it may very well not be transient. But I got thinking about it, and I'm like, the GOP has been fielding and successfully electing terrible communicators who, as far as we know, don't have a medical basis, like W. Bush and Palin and Trump and Gosar and Green. Why is it that everybody, not just conservatives, but everybody seems to hold Democrats to a higher standard of performance and style and substance in terms of politicking and messaging and debate? And is there anything that we can do as people who want Democrats to take power to stop contributing to that double standard? If
I
you
don't
agree
know
with
what
me,
we can
this.
do to stop contributing to it. You're asking me why. Because they're hypocrites, right? I don't know how to answer it any more clearly. Herschel Walker, as far as we know, didn't have a stroke. It's not been acknowledged that he has CTE from playing football, and he makes less sense than Fetterman, right?
Right.
Fetterman had a speech issue, but he at least communicated policy and understands the issues and stuck to the issue that was being discussed, et cetera, et cetera. They say Fetterman should have dropped out, blah, 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 blah. And they say any criticism of Herschel Walker is racism, for example, or something like that.
Right.
I, I don't know what we can do to stop them being hypocrites, but that's fundamentally what this is.
Do you agree, though? See, because I guess I don't see it just as an us versus them. I feel that people who would nominally be considered quote unquote liberal or quote unquote, like there's the perception that the mainstream media, that the New York Times, the CNN,
Yeah.
has a liberal bias. And I probably agree that most New York Times and CNN journalists, I would expect, would vote Democrat. But they, I feel, hold Democrats to higher performative and substantive standards than Republicans as well. Because again, if the metric is this person's a poor communicator, therefore they should drop out of the race, then who on earth could the Republican Party ever field? Again,
Yes.
W. Bush, Palin, Trump. So do you? I guess do you agree that it's not just conservatives holding Democrats to a higher standard?
I
It's
do
also
agree. I do
okay.
agree. And part of it is, I mean, it's a good thing that we have higher standards, right? Trump would never have won the Democratic primary in 2016. He won the
Right.
Republican primary because we have higher standards than they do. And that's a good thing in a lot of cases. It starts to become not so good if it contributes to more of these right-wing lunatics getting elected.
I agree. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm glad at least there's some sort of consensus, and I appreciate your coverage on all this. Keep going.
Thank you so much. Very much appreciate the call. Let's go to Dylan from Tijuana. Dylan, welcome.
Buenos días, David.
¿Cómo estás?
Bien, bien. ¿Y usted?
Can I tell you something that drives me nuts about how Americans pronounce the name of the city you're in?
Oh my God, me too.
Yeah. They say,
Right?
"Oh, I went from San Diego to Tijuana." And I'm like,
No,
first of all,
no, No.
Where
Cringe.
where are you getting some of these additional syllables? It doesn't make any sense. Tia, like the word for aunt. It's Tijuana. That's it, guys. Please.
Yeah, I know.
All right, Dylan, go ahead, please. I'm sorry.
My question for you is, how screwed do you think people are in the Colorado River Basin, like L.A., Las Vegas, Phoenix, San Diego, Tijuana, for water scarcity in the future?
Oh, listen. Here's the thing about it. I don't want to. Okay, let's see. How can I back this up? One of the things that sometimes happens in any kind of climate change discussion is people will start to say, "Hey, listen, I agree there's a problem. I agree if nothing changes, it'll be a disaster, but I'm confident that engineering and ingenuity will figure out a solution before it really becomes a problem." And I think that that's very, very dangerous thinking, because we should be trying to figure things out, but we should also be changing our behavior and our consumption and all these different things. On the issue of water, I actually am more confident that science and technology is going to figure out a solution in that part of the country. But I still think that water usage and water rights, which are a really controversial thing in California and in that area, need to be kind of rethought from the ground up anyway, even though based on what I'm reading about water technology, it's probably all going to work out okay. Although there may be irreversible changes to the fertility of certain parts of those states as climate changes and water becomes more scarce, not drinking water, but sort of groundwater as the case may be. So that's a really complicated issue.
Yeah, and here in Tijuana, it's happened a couple of times this year and several times last year where we'll have tens of thousands of people without water because they're making repairs to the water lines, supposedly for better efficiency and better management, stuff like that. But then I go out and drive in the streets of Tijuana, and there's just these large leaks. Just roads are wet in the middle of a sunny day because So I, as a consumer in general on these climate change things, I'm tired of being blamed for my individual choices when it's the large government authorities and large industries that are really, really messing up.
It's like the thing about straws, and it's like, wait, hold on a second. Let's back up a little bit. Or, I took a 7 instead of a 5-minute shower, but look at the almond and avocado growers and how they're, using ungodly amounts of water. Yeah, no, I totally know what you mean. The drops in the bucket.
Exactly right. Well, I really appreciate you coming down to our side of the border, and if you're ever in Tijuana, hit me up.
Yeah. So, like, what are the best tacos in Tijuana?
The tacos you're eating at the time.
Oh, okay. Like they're all good. They're all good.
Anyway, I will say one thing. In Tijuana, we have a slight regional variation on some adobada. Adobada in Tijuana means something different from the rest of the country. The rest of the country in the U.S. will call it al pastor, but we have our own little kind of regional twist on it. So I highly recommend adobada. That's
a fair recommendation. Have you had Americans go down and ask about tacos? Have you heard that pronunciation before?
You just like asking the cringe, don't you, David? Yeah, I've heard everything.
Yeah. No, the other day a friend of mine said tacos, and I was like, "What is happening?"
Yeah. Thanks,
anyway, all right. Well, thank you for the call. I appreciate it.
Muchas gracias, David.
Igualmente. All right, let's take a very, very short break. If you're holding, stay on because we're going right back to the phones in a moment.